This is Morten from INKISH TV, and I am so pleased. I'm here with my good friends Deborah Corn and McGrew at the Printing United show here in Las Vegas 2022. Every morning we will have a little chat about our expectations to what we're going to see today, and the other days of course as well. But ladies, are you excited about the show? Pat, what are you excited about?
Oh, I'm always excited because, I mean, let's be real. We've all been waiting for the big American show, right? We've had some shows in Europe. We've had some shows we had a show in Australia. We've had a show in Brazil, but this is the first really big American show. We've had, a few others. We had, Label Expo. We had a few other things, but this is sort of everybody's homecoming. So I'm really excited to see, one, who all comes, but I've been delighted to see all the setups with all the vendors. That is, the support has been good.
The intergalactic ambassador to the Printerverse. I mean, when did you land here on Earth?
Exactly. When is the question?
Yeah, that is the question. Okay, so what is your expectations, Deborah?
I mean, I actually walked the show yesterday, and I saw a lot of stuff. I think that, the big exhibitors won't disappoint. The smaller exhibitors were a different mix than usual, at least the ones I saw. I was really anticipating going into the corners and seeing like printed electronics and things like that, but what I saw yesterday was really just smaller vendors, and I think that that's more of an indication of who can actually afford to exhibit at a trade show right now before we sort of get those like ancillary people back into the mix.
I think that's a good point because, I mean, it's not cheap. In Vegas is not cheap. Exhibiting is not cheap. So, I mean, the value, is that only in how many guests that comes to the show, or is it also other measures?
I would say, look, for the big advice I always give to vendors is, please don't hold your staff accountable for the number of leads they sign up during a print show, because it's not the best measure. The measure is one, that you come and you do a good job explaining what you do for a living and showing what you have that's new and interesting and innovative.
The thing that we are good at.
Bring your passion. Yeah. But then remember that if you are very smart, you're using social media to promote the fact that you were here.
And also to extend for the people that are not here, right? So because you have the specialists coming.
Know,
yeah,
right?
precisely. Yeah.
So one of the things I said this morning when I posted was, hey, please remember, come. Listen, if you can't be here, please keep your eyes and ears glued to all the online media offerings from all of the media partners, because that's how you can be here without being here.
100%.
Can I just add to that for a second? I've spoken to more printers who tell me that they've had their badge scanned at trade shows and have never been contacted from again. And my advice to everybody out there is, if you went to a booth and they scanned you and they didn't contact you, take that as a message. And if you're in a booth and you scan people, every single person who visits you is equally important. And whether or not they could afford or undertake what you have now, they're still interested enough to stop by and let your badge be scanned. Put them in your ecosystem and communicate with them on the things that they want to communicate about. But do not, there's a lot of bitter tastes in people, I went to that booth and I spoke to people and they never contacted me again. It's not up to the attendees to follow up with the exhibitor.
One of the things that the Printing United has put a lot of effort on in this show is that compared to the first one in 2019, it already now seems that there's so much more gear on the floor, right?
This time, I think the vendors did a great job of pulling out all the stops. There's some big, heavy equipment on that floor this time. We haven't seen that on show floors a lot, so we're at the bus stop. But I think that that's something, and it's a range of equipment. So look, this is a show that is a combo show. It grew out of SGIA. It combined with the NAPCO universe to create sort of all things print. So you want to see textile printing? I got a machine for you.
Yeah.
You want to see a big latex printer? I got a machine for you.
And that, just to extend on that, that is what you like when we spoke to Mark Supers in the interview just before. It's been kind of the thing for this show is like under one roof approach, right? I mean, Deborah, you love print samples and you love talking to printers. Is that a value in coming to a show like this, seeing the equipment, seeing the print samples, and learn from people that, I mean, you have all the specialists gathered in one place, right?
I have to say, from a printer's perspective, I think they assume that it's going to print at a level that their customers will approve. And then the rest of it goes to, can I afford it? What are the service agreements? Are there service people in the market from this company? What is the workflow process? How does it actually help me make money on the jobs? And coming from me, that's a crazy thing to say, but listening to the printers and what they tell me is they can get to acceptable print pretty much quickly on everything now, so everything else becomes the consideration. And just back to something you said before, we spoke to a couple of vendors yesterday who said that they had a space and then they started filling it up with more equipment because they didn't have more space to have, so they're really investing in bringing machines to the show is what I wanted to say.
Another thing we also learned yesterday when we walked the show a little bit unauthorized, but that is sorry for that, guys. But one of the things that we spoke about is that a lot of the vendors have actually already now filled up list of people that are signing up for booth demos, right? So that is like also something that I feel is like really emphasizing the importance of having a gear show where you can see technology. I want to jump a little bit because I know all of us are busy. In just an hour's time from now, you're going to do the first of 3 print sample TVs here at the show. We have Koenig & Bauer here. They don't have equipment, but what expectations do you have for the print sample TVs?
So here's the nice thing about a show like this, and especially for a company like Koenig & Bauer, such a long history in this industry. They always have things that they know their customers want to buy from them. So when I talk to a K&B, I'm looking for the things that they know their customers print on a regular basis and the technology leaps that they've made in order to bring more features to the customers they serve. So I'm really excited about seeing K&B.
But KBA.
KBA. Koenig & Bauer.
I mean, I thought you knew your ways around.
No,
Okay, that's fine.
Old name.
Pat, I mean, for the other days, what have you planned?
So we will be making a stop with D-Scoop because the D-Scoop people have brought Project Amathea with them, but also HP is one of the platinum sponsors, so they've got the whole back end of the central hall. They've brought everything they could think of to bring, including the brand new A2200, which is the brand new smaller format for the 22-inch. Really cool print samples, and they've brought some amazing paper samples with them. They were blowing me away. Printing on something that's recycled denim. I mean, think about that. It's just really, really cool. So we're looking for that, but then we're looking at the rest of the show, looking for the textile samples, looking for the Scodix and the Duplos.
So you will be busy finding equipment or samples to show. And Deborah, we are going to introduce a little unplanned kind of award, the Unicorn Award. And basically that is in the mornings you will have time to go and see what you like, and no question about it, it's not a paid for thing, it's just like what you like. So what are you looking for?
I guess what I'm looking for is something that can get out to the market fast, but still ticks off meaningful communications with the recipient, whatever that might be. It might be shiny, it might not be shiny, you know? And then, of course, there are just some things we saw yesterday that are new and that really tick a lot of these boxes. And I think the print customers really need to understand why it's beneficial for them to seek out printers that have certain types of these equipment if it ticks all their boxes for their creative briefs.
Fantastic. For INKISH in general here at the show, we will be filming from a lot of different booths here. People have been very supportive in supporting us coming here. It's expensive city, costs a lot of money to come here. But we have a lot of 30-minute sessions from a lot of different booths where we're going to have interviews, we're going to have demos of machines, we're going to talk to VIPs, and we're going to see some extraordinary print samples along with what you're going to see, ladies. And I think that Jan and Chica, they will have very, very busy time filming and editing as usual. So we are exploring them and exploiting them too much, to be honest, right? But that is also part of the show, that we have an opportunity to meet a lot of stakeholders in the industry on all kinds of levels. I take that we will see each other tomorrow morning, where we can talk a little bit what we have seen.
Are we doing a recap at night?
Yeah, let's do that. At least I don't know if Pat has time, but otherwise we will do that when we get a little bit further today. Last thing, tomorrow we're trying to see if we can get into the Explore breakfast meeting, right?
Our plan is to try and get to the
just
Explore
trash the
breakfast
party, right?
meeting, and where we're talking about why workflow is important to the profitability of print.
So that would be exciting, right? Ladies, have a wonderful day. Great to see you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Print long and
Yeah.
prosper.
Bye-bye.